When an old friend and even older enemy seem to be spearheading a conspiracy against the man without fear, how will Matt react? Well, let's hop into the pages of Daredevil issue number 3 and find out together, shall we? So then, picking up directly from where the last issue left off, Matt had come to the bombshell realization that it's actually Ben Urick behind the Reveal All Devils online hashtag movement. A strange group of internet conspiracists who for one reason or another think that Father Matt and St. Nicholas's orphanage are actually behind some sort of crazy supercrime. Matt is understandably confused that his friend Ben could ever do this sort of thing, but more than anything, he's hurt at these accusations, and as such, he decides to sneak into the Daily Bugle to see what their new boss is doing. And yes, Ben is actually the boss of the Bugle, a fact of which never seems to come up anymore, despite the fact that it's been true for a number of years now. Weird, right? Now, if you know anything about Ben Urick at all, you know that he is a staunch advocate for journalistic ethics and integrity. He believes in the truth, never prints lies, and isn't a sensationalist at all. It's why it's so strange that he's acting out of character at the moment. Even Robbie Robertson thinks he's totally lost his mind when he wants to run a headline wherein the only actual evidence they have is from this unsubstantiated internet movement. Why, geez, it's almost as if Ben is possessed or something like Elektra was in the first issue. Still, though, Matt isn't able to stay on this problem for long as he gets an emergency call from Father Javi. It seems that while Father Matt was busy out being Daredevil, he forgot that today of all days just so happens to be the day that Child Protective Services is sending down one of their people to audit the orphanage. Now, if you're like me, you're probably thinking, oh man, I bet this lady's gonna be a mean ballbuster who's going to try and get one over on Father Matt, but quite the opposite. She actually is a fan of what the two priests are doing at St. Nick's. Mainly because she's been in the system so long, she not only can tell when kids are being abused, but also can tell when they're really happy, and here at St. Nick's with Father Matt and Father Javi, they are actually happy. But she also has eyes and is discerning and realizes that Father Matt showed up late and out of breath, meaning that he's most certainly being pulled in other directions right now, and that's not good, especially now when Reveal All Devils has St. Nick's under a microscope like never before, meaning that there's a good chance whatever Matt is doing could very well bring down this whole place if he's not careful. Again, even just the insinuation that Matt might be hurting any of the kids in his care causes him to positively see red. After all, he knows a thing or two about fear, and St. Nick's is the only place these kids have ever actually felt safe and without fear in their entire lives. So yeah, Matt's pretty pissed off right now and decides to hit the streets in order to work off some steam. It's a good thing then, perhaps, that Matt is still trying to track down that mysterious new gang making power plays throughout Hell's Kitchen. You'll remember they're called the Heat. And after knocking around a couple of the usual suspects, Daredevil eventually discovers that the Heat have set up shop in an old construction site right in his own neck of the woods. Here's the thing though, the Heat aren't exactly breaking any laws right now, they're just waiting for their mysterious leader to hand them their next mission. Matt swoops on into the site under cover of darkness, cutting the power and then beating up all of the different gangsters when they can't see. It's while beating the crap out of these guys, Daredevil ends up making a couple of major discoveries. One, these Heat guys aren't your regular run-of-the-mill gangsters, they're cops. That's how they got their hands on that state-of-the-art military weaponry, and that's how they know how to use it. In fact, two of the regular rank-and-file Heat members that Daredevil is beating up during this fight is actually the same two cops who came to harass him at St. Nick's about the Reveal All Devils thing. Which of course leads to the big revelation number 2, and that is Daredevil isn't just dealing with two separate problems, he's actually just dealing with one problem from different angles. Now, another really interesting thing about this issue is showcasing how a blind person like Matt uses his cell phone. Basically, it's voice activated, telling him when he has a message and then reading it out to him. However, when Daredevil manages to steal one of the Heat guys' phones, he actually has a hard time operating it himself because it's just a lot of bleeps and bloops that make no sense to a blind man, even one with enhanced senses like him. It's only after screwing around for a little bit does Matt actually manage to open the message folder of one of these Heat guys, wherein he realizes that they're working for a mysterious benefactor. But they're not the only ones, as the middleman between these mysterious forces is revealed to be none other than one of his oldest and most hated foes, the famous assassin Bullseye. A man for whom Father Matt says even with his memories in shambles like they are right now, he could never forget such a Shakespearean hiss, as the comic comes comes to a close. And so that was Daredevil issue number 3, everybody, and I gotta say, this series is really starting to heat up, no pun intended. We've had stories before where Matt is torn between his personal and professional life against his own superhero actions, yet here it all feels the more immediate, because we have all these wayward kids who are looking up to Matt as one of their only real sources of support in a cold, cruel, uncaring world. Also, not for nothing, but having the big main villainous forces in this series so far be dirty cops and online conspiracy theorists, that's pretty damn topical and more than a little ballsy, but it's the sort of thing we've come to expect from Daredevil as a book, especially considering that the last series took aim so heavily at wealth inequality and even the prison industrial complex in America, so I mean, hey, you know what, you might as well up that ante. Overall, I think I'd feel comfortable giving this one an 8 out of 10. You know what, I was worried when this new series started if it would be able to hold a candle to the one that preceded it, but all the credit in the world to the creative team on this one for really charting their own course and going in fun, interesting, unexpected directions. Hey there everyone, it's your pal Cape Joel again, and if you're seeing my face right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, and I'll always be grateful for that. Retention helps in this crazy YouTube game, and so does becoming a patron. If you head on down to the description, you can find a link to my Patreon page. Recently just redid all the tiers, a lot of cool stuff offering up there, exclusive commentaries, exclusive polls, behind the scenes concept art for Capes and Quest, that's the brand new D&D show I've started soon. Never been a better time to become a patron. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month and help the channel grow and, you know, help me continue to deliver content like what you just saw. So I want to thank you all, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.